So, Banggoods Eachine have been kind enough to send me this E110 to review. Just randomly asked me out of the blue. I've had a quick look at some stuff online, and obviously there's the Banggoods website there with some videos, including some review videos popping up there already. Get a bit of an idea. Now, $100 odd US, sometimes less, on sale. It's not an expensive bit of kit, and what appeals to me about this is just the fact that it's actually something a bit different from a regular garden variety helicopter, so it looks quite cool. Don't expect it to be hugely fantastic. I'm not expecting, mega high grade video or anything like that, but hey, it's something different and it looks like it could be a bit of fun. Now, I'm not big on unboxing reviews, but here goes. We'll open it up and see what we find inside, if we can fight our way into it. And what have we got? Oh, we've got a sleeve on the outside there. Okay. Right. In there, so we have some user manual and initial look on that. Actually looks as though it's fairly well written, better than many of old. Okay, so details on the app. So there's actually a phone app to go with this. Silica gel. Throw away, do not eat. Okay, important safety instructions. Now we're getting into the goodies. It's actually nicely protected in here. In fact, we'll pull that right out. Put that over the back. So yeah, well protected. It arrived to New Zealand basically with the just boxed like that, with just a plastic wrapper over it. There was a tiny little bit of, I don't know if you can see, but there's a tiny little bit of crush damage on there, but it's well protected inside, so well adequate. So then we have a unit in here, obviously with an antenna sticking out of it. Okay, blades all on. Looks as though we're pretty well set to go. Looks as though we've got a little protector over the lens on the camera, which you can adjust up and down on there. Little battery sitting clicked in there, which I guess we're just going to slide them out. There we go. So yeah, it's basically one of their batteries with a control board on it. But other than that, yeah, looks quite neat and quite cool. This unit has got it's a 2 battery unit, so there's a spare battery in here, and it's rigged through. So we've got some spare main blades, we've got some spare tail blade, a couple of tools. There's a hex tool and a little screwdriver, and then we've got a USB charging cable here. So basically we've got a USB connection straight into the battery here. If we get that the right way up, that will just plug into the battery like so, and it will charge itself up. So in fact we could chuck this over here for now and plug it into the computer. So other than that, we have a controller, and hiding under the bottom here, oh, that's quite handy. Yeah, so hiding under the bottom, nicely put together, we have a little, looks like it'll be a little phone holder. So which way are we going to go? Can we go that way? Yeah, basic little controller. Feels pretty, should we say, toy-like. Sliders, button, and the like. In terms of batteries, so take 4 AA batteries in the back. Batteries not included. Yeah, so size-wise, what I thought we'd do is take a look in comparison to a XK K110 here. So just in terms of getting a relative sizing, so it's actually reasonably similar size, so you call it a sort of, I guess you call it 100 sized. We are looking at tape measure, so basic body on there, so showing about just a whisker over 230 overall length on that. Obviously it's, you know, hasn't got a pointy nose on it, and the tail's a bit shorter than the CP. And if we look at, you know, things like relative blade lengths, so if we go from the pivot out, so we're looking at about you know, so about 106 on the K110, and what we're looking at there. So pretty similar blade length on there. Tail blade looks pretty similar. Probably a similar sized brush motor on the tail. Fairly similar can length. Not sure if we can get a diameter of the can. What are we saying on there? So it's about a 7mm can, outside can. Yeah, 7mm on the K110, and this is buried inside the plastic. Yeah, I don't know if I can get to it without stripping it out, but if we look at what 7mm would be like, yeah, it's probably about the same size can. So I mean the tails on these these 1S brushless motors have been good, brushed motor rather. So yeah, no, all in all, pretty much 100 size. Looks pretty good straight out of the box. I guess we'll charge it up and put some batteries in the transmitter and read the instructions and find out what happens. Cheers. The battery is a 580 milliamp hour 1S battery, so that's what he looks like inside. Little circuit board and little battery, and I've taken photos with the dimensions on there. But it's actually quite nice. It's interesting, the plastics feel quite light, so you're not paying a lot of price for carrying that extra packaging around. It's quite a neat system actually, quite impressed. So if we plug that in, and rumour has it, now this may or may not show up, but when it's fully charged, then all four lights will be on. So for long-term storage, please charge the battery to 3.7 volts and store it in a dry and safe place. Also a cool place is a good idea. They don't like heat. How you're supposed to exactly charge it to 3.7 volts, it actually doesn't tell us. While we're waiting for the battery to charge, take a quick look at weights and measures. So 57 grams for Bear Helicopter, and then the 580 milliamp hour battery with case, 19 grams. So if we pop it all together, and in one there, 76 grams. So if we compare that to the K110 with battery, 58, so it's obviously quite a chunk heavier, extra 20 grams, that's fairly significant weight wise. This is only a 450 milliamp hour rather than a 580, so a smaller battery at 12 grams for a Bear battery. And if we look at the Bear Helicopters, back at the 57 gram mark, and a Bear K110 47. So yeah, you know, basically the extra plastics, and it's got a camera on it as well. So overall weight wise it's not bad. Not bad at all. We're just going to check the battery voltage. after doing a full charge. A lot of the cheaper battery charging, yes, look at that, 4.36, that's very high. Okay, very high. A lot of the cheaper battery chargers haven't done a very good job. Generally 4.2 volts is what you're looking for. 4.36, lots, too much. So you think that even a high voltage lithium cell is 4.3 volts charge, 4.36 is just quietly off the planet. Not good. Got the Eachine E110, just going to dive outside for a quick flight, almost the shortest day of the winter, and grab some daylight while it's still around just to try it out. So turn them on first, 2-second press on that, okay. So then activate it with an up and a down. Okay, that's initialized. And let's try the one press button takeoff from medium rates. So okay, so sitting there hands free. Moving around, there's very light wind coming and going at the moment, but you see that's just went into the dog there, my helper. Okay, that's just fighting against a bit of breeze coming from ahead and right, and that's on medium rights. That was full forwards a moment ago there. So it's actually very easy to fly. Just because of the fact if I want to go down, just go down a little bit on the stick, and then off again, come back towards me. So come towards me, and then it sort of stabilises. So looks good in there. So what I might do is just go for some high rates. I go up one, beep beep beep. And let's see what he does. Actually flies quite nicely, quite easily. It's very, very stabilised. I was wondering whether I could try and get a smooth banking turn, but not really. There's a bit more wind there at the moment, hardly any, and you might hear a bit of wind there. But if you're filming, you've got to keep it really slow. That tail rate's actually not too bad. That's full yaw at that. Full yaw at that, so I'm wondering whether they might have slowed that down a little bit since Ali did his review. It's only, yeah, probably the biggest thing about it is it's very easy to fly. They're just drifting around with a little bit of breeze and things there, so you know, for all that it's got, you know, optical positioning, it doesn't really like sitting still. So I go to full climb, oh, feel the power, and then dropping back down again. So when you drop back down, and then when you stop it stabilises, and then up, stabilises forward, and then it kicks backwards, forward, and then backwards. Basically flying around with full forward, and then just with a little bit of sideways, trying to get a bit of sideways bank. But it looks cool in the air, I'll give it that. I like the LEDs on it, so I've got the, not sure how well the LEDs will come through. Got the red LED on the end of the tail motor there, and then turn it around, and then we've got, can't really see on that because it's a bit, then it's got blue LEDs, might stand out a bit more blue LEDs in the front. So it actually does a pretty good job of keeping itself at a steady height when it's flying. You know, again, for a beginner that just makes it so much easier. Normally when you dip the nose down, you know, you're having to put power on and adjust it. So it is a very easy flying helicopter. The question is the dog impressed? That's what we want to know. What does the dog think of the Eachine E110? It does fly for a long time too, gotta say. Doesn't like wind, so yeah, you want to, if you're flying it outside, you want to pick a day when it's really calm, and this is actually calm. Sort of a landing. I mean, just basically holding the stick down until it stops. Back off, let's start them up, and then just throttle the stick down a bit. Whoop. So, go back to a medium rate. Not a low rate, medium rate. I'm not sure whether it's, because of course if you catch it, then you've almost got to hold it. And then you've got to crank the throttle down until it stops. Like that. Or I'm not sure whether we can, the other thing I think we can do to kill it is to go back to the launch button and then hold the launch button for 3 seconds, and that kills it as well. So that was just that button there, hold that for 3 seconds, kills it. So what are we showing there? Now we're showing 3 on the battery gauge. So yeah, it's a fair old bit of battery in it. I think that's enough excitement for one day. Okay, about the height, so let's try and bring it back. Bring it back. And back again. Whoop. And press and hold, 3, and yep. Now what are we showing now? Now showing 1 bar of battery, so yeah, getting reasonably well done. So